What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here for PackersNews.com. I'm here with Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press Gazette. Ryan, great piece on Brian Gutekunst, the new general manager for the Packers. It looks like you talked to a ton of people, including John Dorsey, obviously a former executive with the Packers, now in Cleveland with the Browns. What was Dorsey's take on Gutekunst coming up through the system, so to speak?
Yeah, he worked very closely as the former college scouting director here with Packers with Brian Gutekunst, who scouted the Southeast, a very fertile, very important part of the scouting branch operation for over a decade. So, John Dorsey really gave Brian Gutekunst his start here in Green Bay. He was the one that found him through a conversation with Roger Herring, the legendary Wisconsin lacrosse coach, and he got the recommendation. Called up Brian Gutekunst after an interview, gave him 48 hours basically, essentially to get up to Green Bay and start. And other than the next year, his first full time 1 year with the Kansas City Chiefs, Brian Gutekunst has been with the Packers ever since. So John Dorsey said that not only and Reggie McKenzie as well, who also the Oakland Raiders GM, who also worked with him here, both of them said not only does Brian Gutekunst have a good eye for talent, but John Dorsey especially was very complimentary of his convictions, and the fact is that the Packers draft war room was, especially with those characters and that much talent when it comes to personnel evaluating, it could be a brutal place, and Brian Gutekunst could hold his own within that environment. So it's certainly going to, Reggie McKenzie said they told me he hopes that he keeps that type of environment. That's crucial to getting the real information. It's going to be interesting to see how Brian Gutekunst cultivates his own culture in that scouting department. But I would imagine that it's still going to be a very cutthroat, very competitive, but very close and brotherly bond type environment.
Now, looking forward, you talk about his eye for talent. How do you think he combines that eye for talent with pretty much what you're talking about there, but how he manages the job, how he manages people? How will his path from where he started to sitting in that GM chair at 1265 Lombardi, how do you think that works going forward?
Well, one of the things John Dorsey told me is that Brian Gutekunst, obviously, in his mind, he learned from the right system. And by that, he learned from he was rooted and grounded in the Ron Wolf scouting system. Now, if you look at every other scout that Ron Wolf has hired in the 1991, John Schneider and John Dorsey, obviously, in Kansas City, Reggie McKenzie out in Oakland, Scott the draft really is the baseline, the foundation for what they do. But they are also open to other avenues of team building. Each of them have certainly been aggressive and been active in free agency, something that the Packers have not seen with Ted Thompson. Brian Gutekunst was brought up in that, and I imagine that the best bet is that he's going to be very similar in terms of, he's already indicated this himself, in terms of being more pursuant of other avenues. But the draft is going to remain, draft and develop is going to remain the core of his philosophy to team building, just as it has with other lieutenants that served under Ron Wolf.
There you go. All the latest from Green Bay. Make sure you check out Ryan's piece on Brian Gutekunst. Absolutely must read stuff. For Ryan, I'm Aaron for PackersNews.com.